What's going on, Gemini? How are you doing? Hope you're doing super well. This is the Autistic Mystic, and this is going to be your reading for the month of May 2024. So in this reading, Gemini, we're going to take a look at your overall general energy for the month. We're going to take a look at some things you do not see coming. We're also going to get some advice from your angels and spirit guides and so much more for you regarding May 2024. But as always, I do want to take a moment to let you know that you are very welcome here in this space with me. It's about 3 a.m. where I am right now, but I'm here. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this reading a lot, Gemini. And if this reading does happen to resonate with you, definitely smash that like button. Subscribe down below if you have not already for future updates. I would also really appreciate that over here, Gemini. So without further ado, I'm going to pull the energy for you, and we will see what is coming your way for the month of May. As always, I would like to thank the angels, the interdimensional beings, and the spirit guides who are overseeing this act of divination for the sign of Gemini. Stop. That's the exact number of cards I needed. I love when that happens. Alright, Gemini, so before we get into the tarot, let's go ahead and start this reading off with some pre-shuffled oracle cards. But I just have to say, it looks like it's going to be a very intense month for you, of a lot of shakeups, potentially even breakups for some of you. There's definitely a situation I'm picking up on from, the universe ripping you away from some past relationship or just your past in general. So we're going to get into it. It's very intense. I do think you're going to come out on top, though, or you're going to make it out the other side better. It looks like the beginning of May is much more challenging than the end of May. Just a fair warning. So let's go ahead. I'm going to show you these pre-shuffled oracle cards. This is the energy that you need more of. We're going to show you it, and then we'll talk about it. The first energy you need more of is Libra, which is all about fairness, balance, and harmony. Libra, is beautiful, Kimmy K vibe, but really this is about your relationships, I feel, are bringing balance to them in some sort of way. You also have the 7th house of love and partnership, which deals with all of your one-to-one relationships and not just your romantic ones. And Libra is essentially synonymous. It's the same thing as the 7th house to a certain degree. So right off the bat, the universe is definitely encouraging you to really rethink your relationships and how you can really bring balance to them. But here's the more difficult aspect that you need more of, is Uranus, okay, which has to do with change, new beginnings. Uranus has to do with random things happening. It's a very fast energy, and you can't really predict it, you know what I mean? And Uranus does things in a very innovative way, a futuristic way. And so, if I was doing a birth chart for someone who had Uranus in the 7th house of their birth chart, I would be saying, hey, you're going to have to do something different, creative, and even be misunderstood by people when it comes to your relationships. And you're going to have to integrate some sort of freedom within the confines of partnership. Because anyone with Uranus in the 7th house, you don't mate well in captivity. You're going to have to really feel like you're in control, or a sense of freedom. So for some of you, Gemini, the thing that I sense here is that Uranus is simply bringing, the universe is advising you to change your relationships. And in this sense, for some of you, use your intuition, I sense that the universe is saying that the only way to balance your life right now is to create new relationships and leave the past behind. All right. Now, for others of you, it's saying that you need to create a completely different style of one-to-one relationships that might include something like freedom within the confines of a relationship that you agree on with someone else. And that may, scare some of you a little bit, especially for those of you that just have really entered into the same patterns with different people over and over again. So, Uranus with Libra in the 7th house is a little bit more difficult, but I think it's a fun challenge for you. Some of you, like I said, the universe is just advising you to change your relationships, be open to new beginnings, because your past is really messed up right now. As I'm recording this here at like 3 a.m. in New York, where I am, some of you recently have had a blow up with someone from your past. This could be an ex from a really long time ago for some of you. Others of you, it's going to be with someone more recently where something really went wrong here. I can tell you that. And you might have created an open enemy or bad blood, and I feel like the universe is advising you to really rethink everything to make sure that doesn't happen in the future, all right? And it may involve you really saying, why am I going after these types of people? I need new people. Or for some of you, it's about taking accountability as well, that a relationship is a two-way street. Really intense energy here, Gemini. But let's go ahead and get into the reading. Okay, so your opportunity, Gemini, is the 8 of Cups here. And the number 8 has to do with abundance. The cups have to do with the emotions. And you see this person is walking away from these cups that are kind of, they're still well stacked on each other. And the 8 of Cups represents someone walking away from an emotional situation that is no longer working or satisfying. Even though it's not horrible, it's not working anymore. And so the person would rather, they would place their bets on the unknown rather than stay around with something that's not fulfilling them. So your opportunity is definitely to walk away from an emotional situation that is not working out. And like I said, a good way to think of the 8 of Cups is the number 8 is abundance, and then the cups has to do with your emotions. And because this person has emotional abundance, they're willing to walk away from something that's pretty good because they know that there's something better out there for them. Okay, so this is your opportunities to make a deep emotional change at this time. I feel like it's a hard break from your past, whether it's, once again, a person, a group of people, or it's just a complete shift in your style of relating to people from your past in general. For many of you, you're going to start to feel like the past doesn't have a big grip over you like it did. Past relationships don't have that same weight. They don't have that same pull like they did anymore. And so your opportunity is to really be emotionally abundant. Know that the universe has something better out there for you, whether it's a person or just a completely new way of doing things, okay? You have the 6 of Pentacles in your challenge, which is pretty much similar to Libra energy. You see the scales of justice here. And, the 6 of Pentacles in your challenge is definitely a challenge around giving and receiving. And there's a challenge around harmony within your relationships here, or even with your financial and work situation as well for some of you, Gemini. But with this being your challenge here, Gemini, I'm just going to be honest. I feel like it's, a lot of you are going to have to admit that you're not very good, or you have not been very good at creating balance, or you've just been associating with people who have not been interested in that. Okay, so, it's definitely challenging to create balance within your life right now, but that's what you need to do in some sort of innovative way. And so let's get into the overall general energy, because this is intense, to say the least. All right, so your overall general energy for the month of May is the 6 of Cups in reverse, the 5 of Swords, and the 6 of Wands here. And so right off the bat, the 6 of Cups in reverse has to do with your past. I feel like for many of you, it's a past lover, past relationship, just gone completely wrong. And to top it off, you have the 5 of Swords, which is someone who is like a serial killer, or just someone who has bad intentions, someone who's playing a zero-sum game here, towards the past. So for some of you, I sense this is as simple as you, whether it's the universe aiding you doing this or you doing it, just blowing up your past. There could have been an aggressive ending for some of you that has recently happened, or it will happen in the beginning to the middle of May. And, I'm going to be honest here. I feel like as a result of how you've treated someone, or vice versa, how they've treated you, there's definitely a possibility of having created an open enemy here. Or, you'd only care enough to kill someone you love. You know what I mean? Like, the frequency that I sense in your overall general energy is someone is really unhappy with either the past in general, or a specific person is very upset with you, or you're upset with them from your past. But it's in a way where, the 5 of Swords is one of the nastiest frequencies in the tarot. This person has a sword, they're out for blood. I still kill. I don't want to, but I will if I have to kill. You know what I mean? So obviously, hopefully that's a metaphor, but I feel like this is a lesson that, you're going to have to change your style of relating to your past, where this past person cut them out completely because I feel like someone doesn't have good intentions towards you anymore, or vice versa. All right, so this is probably, for many of you, this has already happened. Many of you, this will be happening in the beginning to middle of May. Now, it gets better for you because you do have the Six of Wands here towards the end of May, which is about public victory. You really being victorious over a situation here and getting recognition for it here. But I do sense if this is connected to another person, Gemini, that something really went bad. It's almost like there's a potential for both of you to try to play a zero-sum game, and each of you, if this has to do with a single person, could feel like you have victory over each other here in some sort of way, obviously. And that's not really usually fun unless you're a little bit of a psycho. So this is definitely, I feel like in May you're dealing with the repercussions of your past, a lot of karma clearing right now. But for many of you, I see it working out for you. I see there being a positive outcome here. I feel like the universe has your back for the most part, if you could take accountability, etc. So really intense shift away from your past, whether it's a person or just the vibe in general. This could even be with your family or something like that. So let's go ahead and go to what you don't see coming. And there's a complete reevaluation on a spiritual level here. In what you don't see coming, you have the Hermit, which is all about going within and deep reflection. And it's Virgo energy, perfecting the craft. You have the Strength card, Leo energy, balancing the animalistic side of yourself with the higher self and moving through a difficult situation with grace. And then you have the Empress, which is all about abundance, the combination of the four queens, very fertile energy here, very ripe for partnership as well. And so I feel like this is, in what you don't see coming here, a lot of you are really going to have the strength to reflect on why your relationships are so damn hard, or why something has not worked out. You taking accountability, or you also just looking at, me and this person are incompatible here. So there's deep reflection going on. So in what you don't see coming, there's a lot of spiritual energy coming your way. But then you have this energy, the Empress here as well, right underneath the Six of Wands. So if you can play your cards right here and make the accurate changes, or you can bring balance here in some sort of way, I see there being a big upgrade for you in what you don't see coming. And whatever situation, whether it's just you basically ripping the past out of your life, or there's a situation with someone that went really wrong, quote unquote, I actually feel like there's a big potential for this to increase your own self-worth, because you may not allow yourself to be mistreated anymore. Okay, but I feel like if you're dealing with someone from your past or a recent big thing, it's like both of you kind of feel that, so maybe it is beneficial in the end. And the Six of Pentacles in your challenge is like, I feel like this is about a really painful experience of balance that has been that is coming in May 2024 here, karma that could be really challenging for you to deal with here, even if it's for the highest good of both people. It's never easy, right? So a lot of spiritual energy. And then when it comes, Gemini, to your advice from Spirit, you have the Page of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, and also the Fool. And I feel intuitively here, Gemini, that Spirit's advising you to do the dirty work when it comes to romance. The Page of Pentacles is someone who it's like their first day on the job. They're just rolling up their sleeves. They're willing to do anything that they're told. And it's not that you have to take advice from people, but I feel like this is you doing the basic work about your romantic life, or even your ideal, like your wishes, your hopes and aspirations, your romantic energy. The Fool's all about innocence and a completely new beginning here. So the Spirit's definitely advising you to completely have a new beginning when it comes to your love life here. And, for many of you, there's going to be a new person coming in here who you're very capable of actually doing a lot of hard work together in order to make the relationship right. Whether this, for most of you, I don't sense it's getting back with someone. I feel like this is a new person coming in for you, because the energy you need more of is the 7th house, love and partnerships, and then Uranus, which is about change, new beginnings, and random things happening. So definitely remain open to the possibility of someone coming in new to balance out your life, new relationships, whether it's, it doesn't have to be romantic for all of you as well. But a lot to unpack here, Gemini, a lot. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get into this clarification portion of the reading and really see what is going on here. First thing I want to clarify is the Six of Cups in reverse. And let's see what that is about here. Let's see. You know, there's definitely a feeling of someone that you once had unconditional love for. Like, it's almost like there's this feeling, Gemini, that it was a bad investment, or like both people feel that in some sort of way with the Six of Cups in reverse, like the fruit of the relationship was not produced. The Seven of Pentacles is all about a seed that was planted long ago coming to fruition and you receiving the fruits of your labor. But because the Six of Cups is in reverse here, I feel like potentially both of you, someone from your past, you, feels like the relationship was a big waste of time. And part of the reason why someone is so upset, it could be you as well, is that someone feels like they were taken for granted. Someone feels like they were not appreciated. Someone feels like that they were not honored and esteemed. Okay, and the Queen of Cups is here, which is unconditional love. And this could have been something that you really invested in, you know, whether it's, you know, something to do with your past here, that you invested in, you thought it was going to produce fruit, and when it didn't, someone got really mad here in some sort of way. This could be built up over time or more of a recent thing for some of you here. And it could be something that's hard to move on from because there is that Queen of Cups unconditional love and nurturing energy going on here. But hold on. You also have the Tower. Yeah, so a foundation from your past is either completely blowing up. The Tower is a moment of awakening and your, you know, a foundation going bye-bye. So whether this is a relationship that you invested a lot of your energy into that's no longer working, you know, the past is not going to be able to, you're not going to be able to do this with this person or relate to your past in the same way that you did, okay? And, but you have that Five of Swords staring right at it. So let's see why that's here. Because the Five of Swords is a pretty nasty frequency. I mean, why is that here? Let's see. Thanks. Hold on. All right. So someone's definitely really hurt. You know, you have the Nine of Wands, which has to do with unfinished business and wounding. You know, it's right before the Ten of Wands. You also have this, I mean, the Five of Swords is clarified by the Six of Cups. It's facing the Six of Cups in the other deck, having to do with your past relationships. And then you also have the Ten of Wands, which comes right after the Nine of Wands. The Ten of Wands here is about a burden. And so someone here, you know, whether it's you just relating to you thinking about your past and you feel like it's just burdening you. For many of you, this is going to be about a person, though, that you start to feel like each other are a burden. And like it's almost like there's some sort of wound here that is not capable of being healed. And, you know, there might be a real nasty kind of like a lot of passion that leads to anger. You know what I mean, in some sort of way about the past. Whether it's you just angry with yourself for doing certain things in your past. For many of you, it's about a person, though, especially in the beginning to the middle of May here, or even the end of April. It could have been happening here. Man, and so this is like a sign for you that, you know, there's definitely a new way of relating that is going to be key for you here. Let's clarify why the Six of Wands is here, though. Because I feel like this is a good energy for you. Let's see, why is the Six of Wands here for you? All right. The Six of Wands in your overall general energy is clarified by the Nine of Swords and the Two of Cups here. So I feel like there could be some sort of, you know, man. So it's like a bittersweet victory. I feel that it's like, once again, I feel like this zero-sum game energy within you and someone from your past, and there could be something that's bittersweet, like you feel like you got the better of someone, or you feel like you did what you needed to do to get out on the other side on top, whatever that means. But it doesn't come without a cost, it looks like here. You have the Nine of Swords, which has to do with anxiety, overthinking, sleepless nights. The Two of Cups is the card of soulmate and partnerships here. So for many of you here, it feels like you're going your separate ways with someone from your past that was really nasty, but like deep down, it's like maybe it doesn't sit right with either of you how it ended. Now, for some of you, this is about a new thing. All right. Now, for some of you, I'm sensing completely different, Gemini. You're being a little bit of a something here, because the Six of Wands here is about public victory in the physical world. And the Two of Cups, partnership, the Nine of Swords, anxiety. For some of you, towards the end of May, there's going to be a new relationship coming in for you that will make you feel victorious and like make you feel like, it gives you justice for what happened in the past. But it may be at a cost, so make sure that if you're going to, just go into the future really quickly, you're going to enter into a new relationship, because it is a high probability here for many of you. Make sure you don't do it for the wrong reasons, because here's the thing. With the Six of Pentacles in your challenge, this can, especially with the Five of Swords here, with the Six of Cups twice, this can be like, victory at all costs. This can be, I'm going to restore balance at all costs here, even if it causes me anxiety. Now, for some of you, with this breakup from your past, this could be people from your past who have anxiety about your new life, or this could be someone who's upset about who you're with, or vice versa. But I just feel like there's a strong potential here of, maybe doing something that, or maybe you still have anxiety about the whole situation, even though you feel like you were victorious over it. I don't know, Gemini, it's very intense. So I do want to clarify why that Six of Pentacles is in your challenge. Let's see. Why is that in your challenge, Gemini? Sun wanted to come out, so like clarity. Yeah, the Six of Pentacles is clarified by the Four of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles here. So I feel like there's something about the challenge to where, there may be something about threatening your physical, material, financial security, someone who is unwilling to do the dirty work here. But it's interesting, in your challenge, you have the Page of Pentacles, and in your advice, you have the Page of Pentacles. And then you also have the Knight of Wands here, which is someone who talks a big game but doesn't back it up. There could have been a lot of promises made in this past relationship that were unfulfilled. If someone feels like there's unfinished business, but I feel like it's just too late at this point. The universe is pulling you into the new. So, yeah, like as well for some of you here, there might be something that, is giving you security here. But, remember that winning, having like a petty victory over someone that compromises your own happiness is fleeting. And with the Six of Wands here, clarified by the Two of Cups and the Nine of Swords here, whether it's you or whether it's someone else, make sure that you're not just trying to go tit for tat to restore justice at all costs, because I do see that there's a really nasty frequency here potentially developing. So it's like, don't do something for your ego that your soul doesn't really want deep down. That could be what's going on here for some of you. You might have just been dealing, yeah. And here's the thing as well, where it gets more complicated. Because the energy you need more of is Uranus, which is about innovation, doing things, doing relationships in a completely outside of the box way. And I feel like part of your challenge is that maybe, there's this dichotomy between security and adventure. The Knight of Wands is all about adventure, spontaneity, Uranus. The Four of Pentacles is all about stability and really something that's solid, or even a little bit too closed down. And so with this being in your challenge, maybe your challenge is to find balance between how do I create this sense of freedom, expansion within the confines of security in your relationships. You know what I mean? How do you do that? It is a big question for you. And so it's really interesting here, because The Six of Cups in reverse was clarified by the Queen of Cups, which is to do with unconditional love. And so I feel like there is an issue here that some of you, if you get too devilish Gemini, you know, either you or someone that you're dealing with here from your past, or just you breaking free from your past if it's not to do with the person. I feel like there's something here going on that you think is going to make you happy, but really is just, it's almost like both of you, or like you or someone, you know, whoever you're dealing with here, Gemini, it's like you may be fronting like you want to hate each other, but deep down there's this unconditional love. So having victory over someone that you once had unconditional love for may feel good in the moment, but I don't think it's going to bring you long-term happiness. You know what I mean? I don't think that. There's something off about it. So I don't know what that's about. You know, I don't usually do this, but I'm going to clarify Uranus. Why is the theme that you need more of Uranus relating to the 7th house and Libra? Fairness here. You have the 10 of Swords, the 4 of Swords, and the Star. So yeah, like the first thing here is that the only way that you're going to find peace is to completely walk away from something and view it as it's over, it's dead. The 10 of Swords is about a complete ending to the mental realm, a complete ending to conflict. It's not worth it. And the Star here is all about healing. It's also about Aquarius energy, which ironically is, or interestingly, is ruled by Uranus. So yeah, there has to be a complete change and a new regeneration, a rebirth here to your life. And you know, the challenge that some of you are going to be so caught up in, like this like game that you're playing with someone, that what you need is this, right? What you need is the 10 of Swords, but your victory is showing up as the 9 of Swords here. So, you know, a quote that I live by is like, if something is bothering me, like, and this can be taken out of context, but don't avoid it. Just ignore it. Let it fall away. Don't feed it energy. Because I feel like, I feel like either you or someone that you're dealing with is going to take an action here that will make you feel better, make you feel like you're bringing justice to your past, make you feel like maybe that you're giving someone the karma that they deserve. However, I feel like there's this frequency where it needs to be completely done. And if it was completely done, you might take a different action than if you're subconsciously trying to do something. I'm not saying all of you are doing that here, but there's something weird about a potential victory. Like, it can be both people playing each other against each other and like acting like they love it, but deep down they're both like sad alone when no one is watching. So let's clarify the Strength card. Or no, let's clarify the Hermit. You know, what are you going to be deeply reflecting on when it comes to May 2024? The Hermit, Gemini, is clarified by the Hierophant, the King of Wands, and the 9 of Pentacles. That's really interesting here. You know, the King of Wands and the Hierophant are a little bit different. The Hierophant has to do with like marriage, spiritual commitment, traditional commitment. The King of Wands is someone who is a little bit more edgy, a little bit more open with their energy in kind of like a really like external way, I guess you could say. And the 9 of Pentacles has to do with independence. It's kind of like the Uranus energy, on your own, the maverick here. And so I really feel like you're going to be deeply reflecting on how you can have the stable, committed relationship that you want, if that's what you want, alongside passion, because that frequency that I just pulled is mirroring this one, and it's your challenge, right? Stability and adventure, fire and earth. You have this dichotomy between that. So a lot of you, you know, once again, I really feel like you may need to really completely rethink how you want to experience your love life or one-to-one relationships. Because if you don't, and you just get caught up in trying to restore balance against someone, you're doing very sloppy work, because you're missing the entire point, and you're just going to recreate the same situation with this new person, or with whatever new opportunity comes in for you. Because I actually feel like there could be a new relationship coming in very quickly that many of you are going to go with, but it may require you to really be honest about what that means. It's just what I get. Okay, so let's go also and clarify. Let's clarify why the Knight of Cups, idealism, romance, is in your advice. Page of Swords, getting more information. Two of Wands, choice point. Judgment. Yeah, so Gemini, you definitely, you know, once again, this is what this whole entire reading is about, is that the Knight of Cups in your advice is clarified by the Page of Swords, which is someone who's very vigilant, mentally open, and open to new forms of information. And it's like the brainiac of the tarot, the stalker of the tarot, getting more information on a choice that you have to make. You're definitely at the fork of, like the fork in a road. This is what this whole reading is about, Gemini. It's like you can either go this way or this way, but you're going to have to make a choice here about your love life. And the Judgment card, you know, the ability to discern well, has to do with discernment and making a judgment on someone and a major shift in consciousness. So your love life is definitely changing here. With the Knight of Cups and the Fool, though, in your advice and looking at this, I mean, you need to be careful that you're not doing something foolish. What I mean by that is like addressing the root issue so that you don't have to keep creating these crappy cycles. Because for some of you, there's going to be a cover person is what I honestly feel. Like for some of you, there's going to be a new relationship that may feel like a bounce back, but ultimately it's going to lead to more anxiety if you don't complete this past. If you don't complete the past, completely let it go and learn your lessons from it. You know what I mean? Because once again, the overall general energy is someone demonizing the other person, or once again, you've created an open enemy. So if you don't fix these patterns, it's just going to keep happening again. It is. And so, like, why is the Fool in your advice? The Fool in your advice, Gemini, is clarified by the Two of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles here. Once again, there's not really, I mean, you have that number 2 here, which is all about weighing something up. You know, things are up in the air. You could be dealing with a new relationship with an earth sign, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, man, or make it a woman. It doesn't matter. It's energy, not gender here. And so there could be a new beginning opening up for you here, but you know, there could still be something that you still have to process here, that you're not fully aware of why this whole situation from your past is blowing up in your face, right? It's never simple. So I just want to clarify that Page of Pentacles as well. See what we can get out of that. Why is the Page of Pentacles here in your advice? Knight of Pentacles, go slow here. Build slow. Don't be in a rush, right? But man, too many. Why is the Page of Pentacles here in your advice? Ace of Swords, yeah. I mean, this is definitely about slow, methodical improvement and mental clarity here. So, you know, this may, like, especially if this is a really intense emotional situation weighing on you in the beginning to the middle of May, Gemini, you know, you're definitely going to have to take your time with this, because once again, I feel like whether you can see it or not, and whether it's you or the other person, maybe it's not you, someone is going to do something here that, you know, it may be a really risky new relationship. And I'm not even saying that you shouldn't do it if you feel called to. If you feel called to, then go with this new relationship. It's definitely going to be an option for you as a result of this big ending. But I feel like if you don't learn the patterns, then it might happen. And here's the thing. Here's why it's the foolish energy as well. You know, your challenge is all Pentacles, right? It's the Six of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, imbalance on the physical level, right? And then you have the Two of Pentacles to the King of Pentacles here. So some of you are just going to like get into a relationship with a type, like a type of person that you're going to have to decide if you really want that. Because what energy do you need more of? Uranus. You know what? It's not Uranus energy, the King of Pentacles. It's not. So, like, look, this is definitely going to be a really intense month for you. And I wish you well, Gemini. With that being said, I'm going to conclude this reading. I'll talk to you next time.